I came across this post that I put in the jumbo, where it talked about a young woman. She doesn't have a positive relationship with her husband's mom, right? A situation happened in where the husband's mom came to the house and she had a toy. There was two kids in the house. She only bought a toy for her son's child, in which that started a fight. The lady said she actually punched the mom. I wanted to know if that type of relationship with your in-laws, because you are married, Rail, wanted to get your perspective on it as well. Does a positive relationship with your in-laws matter? Is that something that you hold to high regard, or it don't matter? This my person, and so we just gonna rock like that. Go ahead, Rail.
So it did at first. It did at first because we wanted our families we wanted that village. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes a village to raise a kid. But unfortunately, as we got older, our like we're not cool with each other's family. Unfortunately, like I'm not cool with her. I'm cool with certain people, but like her mom is like real. Like her mom just can't let go of the power. Like she just can't believe her daughter's not in the house living with her no more. You know what I'm saying? Like she still be trying to regulate to this day, and it's like it causes major problems in here. You know what I'm saying? It's like my wife would confide in her mom, and her mom would be like, "Yeah, you know, she said this and that," and it's like, "Lady, I'm not beefing with my wife because she told you something." And you know what I'm saying, in confidence. You her mom, like you tripping right now. I'm not about to beef with my wife. She's allowed to do that. You wrong, you out of pocket for even exposing this. And plus my wife probably already told me whatever you saying. She probably already said it in anger or frustration or we talked about it. So you're not telling me nothing I don't know. So at this point, it's not important. Unfortunately, it's not important. It was at one point in the beginning, like this should be a kumbaya. But once people don't want to kumbaya with you no more, you can't turn your cheek, more than twice. So it's over. It is what it is at this point. And we just keep it like that. I still go to functions and I politic with the people that politic with me. Other than that, I stand back, mind my business. If they get out of pocket, they already know I'm saying something. And that's just what it is. You know what I'm
You letting
saying?
them have it at the family function.
No, I'm not, bro. I'm not going for no disrespect, man. I have daughters behind me that are looking up to me. I'm God in my house. If I don't do it, it don't get done. And I'm not saying I'm God with a big G. I'm God with a little G, like no disrespect. But my kids look at me for something. When a fire break out, they come to me. When it's time to eat, they come to me. When somebody disrespect mom, they look at me. And I understand that. I'm the man in here, so you can't disrespect her, and you can't disrespect me because she's gonna say something at my functions. And both our families know that. You know what I'm saying? So they don't even play with us like that. We don't even get invited to stuff like that no more. We just be popping up. Cousin to tell us, yo, they having this. You know what I'm saying? Because people can't, I don't know what it is, but I don't know. It's just weird
So
where I'm at.
does that trickle down to like other family members? Because I think that would be for me. With my my daughter's mom definitely didn't get along at all. Zero as far as her family, because of just pettiness and
Yeah,
ridiculousness. And then it
yeah,
does trickle down to other aspects
it
of
does.
family and relationship.
It does, but you know what? Other people know their brothers and sisters. Like, they know their cousins. They know their aunt. Like, I go to some family members and be like, yeah, we kind of on the rocks right now. They'd be like, man, her mom crazy. Like, so people know their family members, you know what I'm saying? So some people rock and some people don't. Some people love me and her family, they love me. They know everything that's going on. They love me to death. They'll give me so much love in front of people that we beefing with just to show them the solidarity because it's foolish, ultimately. Ultimately, it really depends on what the issue is, like in our situation. Like if the issue is not valid, then nobody is staying behind it. They'll just, you know, you can't stand behind
Yeah,
something
it,
crazy.
it it usually seems like a lot. Like for me, my that's the only situation that I had, and where it's really not that deep. Like you said, the control aspect. I think that's difficult for some parents to let go of, right? And where you've had, your child and she's been with you for, since they've been around, since they've been alive. And then now she's out and she's on her own and don't look for you in these types of situations. It does get to a place in where it seems like a little jealousy. It seems like, planting negative seeds. And then now you got to have conversations that shouldn't be had, right? Or trying to come to understandings and where, hey man, this is our house and this is how it's going to go in our house, especially if I'm in here. And so having that tug of war with the in-laws is never easy. And then in this situation, I wanted to talk about this situation as far as she said that basically grandma came and bought a gift for only one of the grandkids because the other one was not hers biologically. How would you feel if that situation happened? Go ahead, Scully.
I feel like Shorty got some static because, especially coming from a woman, that's a man mistake right there. Not to shit on men, but that's a mistake that men make. Like I made that mistake with my kid, and I went to her crib and brought her gifts, and she's living, with her cousins. So it's three of them over there, and I just brought the one gift, and I felt like a dickhead once I realized it. But that's some static. Like you just don't accept that child, that you don't rock with that kid, so that's why you bought just the one gift. But usually women are really good about making sure everybody gets something. Even like when you go to a birthday party, all the kids get like a little takeaway. Like I don't know why the fucking
You
kids
felt
get a takeaway.
obligated to get the cousin something?
Yeah, because they there. Like why she sitting there? And it wasn't like the most extravagant gift ever. A little Dollar Tree something or another. But why is she the only one opening up a joint when there's two other kids here? Then they gonna fight over it. Oh, it's mine, it's mine. Like nah, y'all niggas is a gang. Y'all niggas is a collective together. Shit, I come from that era. If one kid get ass whooping, we all get an ass whooping in the house. You share and share alike.
Not you incriminating them, calling them a gang, though.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, Scully. I ain't with that, fam. Not gonna hold you.
Wait, so you telling me if your VM got another kid and you take your kid over, you take your kid, you do the drop off or whatever, and your kid got a new toy, and you bring in your kid a new toy, you gonna let your kid get a new toy in front of her kid?
Yeah.
Rashad, you better than
He
that.
lying. He pie like a motherfucker.
No, 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 no. I think because obviously I have two different baby mamas. When they send kids the gifts, they don't buy one for the other one. Like they don't. That's not how it goes. Like what we talking about? And I don't think that is an issue. Is that an issue? That's not crazy. What I don't know. That's just how I feel about this situation. I never seen it as an issue. Go ahead, Pixie.
I mean, is it necessary? No, but it is helpful. And I think it also, I feel like it depends also on the status of the kid. Like if you, for example, one kid, you already know your kid got it, he got it together and everything like that. And let's say the other one, their family don't really got it like that. You're not going to go ahead and bring them lobster and the kid gets nothing or gets like a Happy Meal. You get what I'm saying? You kind of, or you're going to give them something. It's just like, because if not, I feel like it's not about, you know, I feel like it's more about making sure there's like camaraderie and not having the kid get left out, and then there's like resentment built because of that. Then it's like, oh, like as they grow on, like, yo, there's people like that are like old as fuck that they be like, I don't fuck with this family member because when I was like 10 years old, they would treat me like this. And that sticks in their brain. It's like a core memory. Kids build these core memories, and then based on that, they create their character development around that kind of stuff. So, is it necessary? No, but I think if you want to give people a fair chance and a healthy lifestyle, like a healthy like emotional state, I think it's very good.
I think that's up to the parents to explain though. Because I mean, if you leave kids up to their own devices, they're going to figure out the most ridiculous narrative on why things aren't happening for them. But then when things happen for them, then the world is right. Right? And so for me, it's having communication of y'all have two different moms. And they know each other's moms and they talk to each other's moms on FaceTime and stuff like that. And so just understanding that, and this doesn't mean that one is better than the other or that you're being treated differently, and having that talk instead of not saying anything. And now you 5, 6, 17 years old and you seeing something come in the house and then you like, why not me? And it's like, it's not your turn, right? That's how I look at it.
I mean, I see it that way too, but it's more about the fact like, do you want like you can go on and do that and have everything quote unquote go on right. Nothing dramatic or anything like that, or just things won't be exceptionally great, but not exceptionally bad either. But there's times like that's where it means like that's what I meant. I think earlier I meant successfully blending families. I feel like a lot of the time, because especially, I feel like black people, Latino people, et cetera, and so forth, like us minorities, we have a very much a way of having blended families a lot of the time. And I feel like it's one of those things like to make sure you're not excluding anybody, you're including someone like, hey, listen, your family too, even even though that this big dynamic, it's a very obvious dynamic. You're not my blood, right? You're not 100% my blood, but somebody else is. I still consider you family regardless, because blood is not like, like that it's not just blood that should make you family. It's community. And to be fair, I feel like back in generations, that's what people used to do. I feel like people went ahead and included, like, community was, part of it. Tribe
Yeah,
was
but
part of it.
that doesn't necessarily. I don't think that like my stepdaughter has a dad, right? And so when he sends money or he sends a gift, I'm not, hey man, send my kid something too. Like, nigga, what? It doesn't, it, that aspect never clicked in my head, right? And so, it's all blended around this motherfucker, right? And so I think that I think it does breed like a level of entitlement a little bit, and where if I see somebody have something, then I need to have something too. Right. And I don't want to get into that level of thinking, and where, when kids is, young, and every time you eat, they feel like they need something off your plate. No, you're not getting my food all the time. Like, that's always just how I thought about the situation. Go ahead, Memphis, and then we got Paris.
I think it's different from a separate parent that's not the parent of the child than this grandmother who's was the grandmother not the other child's grandmother that didn't bring something. I'm a little
Yeah,
confused.
she wasn't the other child's grandma.
Oh, okay. So listen, me and that grandma would have been rocking. Okay, listen. I mean, we just would have been thumping in that bitch. Don't bring one kid something and not the other. That's the rule I live by. I practice that rule with my son and my niece. My niece is 6 months younger than my son. And if ever we went out and we did something for my son, we got her something too. The only time we stopped doing that was now that they're in high school. And you're old enough to know now why you don't get something. But as younger kids, one got something and the other did too. So if it was Josh's birthday and we took Josh and got him a toy, her toy might not have cost as much, but she got a toy too.
On
Yeah,
birthdays too?
yes,
Hell no, Memphis.
yeah. We just that's what we did, child, and that's how I roll.
Hell no.
No, me
I
and that grandma
support it.
would have been thumping. Don't bring your motherfucking ass in here and do for one and do for the other.
But why the baby got to share a birthday?
It's not her birthday. It's not that we are celebrating you. That's not what we're doing. And we make that very clear. But we're going to go buy him a toy. He's picking out a toy. You could pick out something too. It may not have cost as much. It may have been something smaller, but you can get something too. Because
That's not.
as younger kids,
Isn't
they
that
don't know how to
entitlement?
differentiate all that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
isn't
think
that
that
entitlement?
breeds. Yeah, that breeds a level of entitlement in my opinion. I think that if every time somebody gets something, I need to get something too. I think that
I am
that's a
so
level of
sick.
entitlement.
It's not a participation trophy, but I mean, it's just
Exactly.
knowing how to deal with kids. Like when I went to go take my kid to a baseball game, I took her cousins too because they in the house too. Like it'd be fucked up. I come through on a Saturday, take they homie, and they just sitting in the crib looking
Looking
in
So
stupid.
their face.
hold on.
Nah,
So
y'all.
when do you have? And then we're gonna get to you, Paris. When do you have alone time with your kid? If every time you doing something, you got to do for somebody else, how does your kid feel special?
You get your alone time. That's something different, but it's just about making sure that you do for the other kids in the house, whether they're your kids or not. You still do for the other kids in the house because when you're not there and somebody comes and does for those kids, you would also like that same courtesy granted.
Hello.
Go ahead, Paris. What's the word? How you feeling today?
Hey y'all, I'm gonna say this is not a conversation of good or bad. This is a conversation of do what you see fit because you cannot tell me how to spend my money at all. And that's Auntie Paris, that's Cousin Paris. I got two birthdays that are in December and I got two birthdays that are in October and November, 2 weeks apart. I just don't buy the gifts. And nobody can make me buy the gifts because I'm not gonna do for one when I'm up and can't come through for the other off of principle. So it's a simple happy birthday. But I wouldn't say it's necessarily a good or bad because what I'm hearing is a lot of y'all are in situations where it comes with the consequences of that circumstance. Okay, this person parent is a little bit more better well off than this other person parent. This other person family got a little bit more stability than this other person parent. As much as you may feel like that child is being left out, that's the reality that comes along with them being inducted into these families. That's it. And I had to make my brother aware of that. You cannot get mad because your child's mom don't have the same level of support that you have. You can't get mad because your child's mom don't have the same level of money that we come from. That's what you got. So yeah, unfortunately, your child inherited both. That's what that comes with. Now, when it comes down to it, I'm not mean to kids. I love kids. When I go home, everybody gets the same thing. I let them do what they want with me. That's just how I am. But principle speaking, this is some pocket watching and niggas really don't want to say it because it's like, you can't make me feel bad for not spending money on your child.
Go ahead, Pixie.
So I'm gonna say this. You can't. I agree with Paris. Like you can't. To that extent, also partially you. You can't make somebody feel bad for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put myself in perspective. I was the firstborn. My grandmother's first granddaughter. In many ways, my brother literally says, "Oh, I was the golden child, right? The favorite." Blah blah blah. Right? To the point that my brother felt like, for example, with my uncle and everything like that, because they had a rapport, they had a much better rapport with my dad, even though he was, overseas. They had a much better rapport with my dad. They kind of like were around for 12. My dad and my mom were together for 12 years, before having me. And so he was around. They had a good repertoire, right? So it was like an extension of like, well, even though she's not with him anymore and that's his daughter, she is family, and they would treat me like automatically very much like, go ahead. If we went on trips, I got it too, whatever. But my brother a lot of the time was excluded. My brother also, he's very different, and I was much more calmer. He was like all over the place. He had a very different personality. But to the point that like, yeah, sure, it's my uncle's doing it, but my grandmother used to do it too. To the point now that my grandmother's like 92, 93, and my brother will not do a damn thing for that woman at all. And I don't blame him at times because his perception is like, well, you didn't give a fuck about me throughout all these years. You didn't do anything for me throughout all these years. And I can't even defend her. And I love my grandmother, but I can't even defend the fact that she did, because even just little small things of like, hey, um, we're all going to, I don't know, McDonald's, right? We're all going out to eat. We're going out to eat. We're going to do something. She's getting a toy, but he doesn't get a toy. Like she's getting a toy, his cousin's getting a toy, but he's not getting a toy. Kind of things like that. It makes kids feel excluded, especially in blended families. I feel like it really is something that's a touchy subject. That being said,
It
mom,
is, but I don't disagree.
but
I don't like.
that being said, I'm sorry. My mom the way about it, but she never acted on it. She never went to somebody like saying, you never did X, Y, and Z. So I
Now,
do agree
I'm
with that
not
point.
disagreeing that it makes kids feel a ways. Kids are human; they have emotions, but the idea that this is mandated in humanality, it's not, bro. That's where we get it fucked up. I can love your kids to death, but just because I do certain things with my own preferential, right? The ones that are blood associated to me, don't mean these other ones gonna get the same thing all the time. I'm not obligated to do that. Now, I personally do it. What I'm saying is Paris does do it. Like my nephew, the kid that my auntie adopted that we have, They besties, and he get the same thing my nephew get. I consider him the same way, but the principle being is this is pocket watching. You're mad because the child that is dear to you isn't getting treated the same way as the child that's an extension of them, but that's not their responsibility. They don't owe you to comfort your child. They don't owe you to help you spend money the same way because you have to do it. You're obliged to do that.
And being treated differently isn't synonymous with being treated bad. So and I couldn't imagine my stepdaughter, her dad flying down here. Hey fam, take my kids too. You about to take her out to eat? Take my, like, nigga, what? That doesn't make any sense to me. Buy my kids something too, nigga. What you doing? Like, that doesn't make sense, bro. I don't get that line of thinking.
No,
Oh,
I
what's the
get
word?
the
How you
line of
feeling?
thinking. I get it. I just don't think it's mandated. It's not mandatory.
So, good afternoon. This is an interesting topic. And I try not to ruffle any feathers, right? Because I heard two women speaking from different perspectives. I'm gonna ask Per something later, as far as in-laws and things of that nature, right? But anyway, kids, right? I'm a man, right? So if I have daughters, right? And let's say hypothetically, they have a sister-in-law or a stepsister or whomever, right? Under my umbrella, under my watch, I treat all kids equally, right? And it's not about me not being able to afford, because if you want to go somewhere, then we all go, right? Or if you want to go somewhere, none of us are going. If we cannot afford, or if the time doesn't allow, right? I do think that people are spiteful and vindictive, but it's the same thing with society, right? I hear people saying, we're not mandated to take care of said child because we're not blood related. But that's just how they treat poor people. That's just how they treat black people. That's just how they treat rich people versus everybody else in society, right? You know, we're going to treat you like gold because you're from so-and-so family, and we know y'all got money. So we're going to treat you fair, and we're going to treat you kind, and we're going to love you. But you from Southeast DC, your parents was crackheads. You adopted. We're gonna treat you like shit because you don't come from shit, right? It's the same thing, right? I think that everybody, children especially, didn't ask to come. So if they dropped off, hey, I've housed kids. My oldest about to be 17, right? I was just now in DC. Unfortunately, we went out to eat and she asked some of her homegirls to come. Now, I'm not going to ask they homegirls, hey, call your parents for money. No, fuck that. I'm gonna take care of everybody, and I'm gonna send you on your way. And we had a good time with Mr. Palmer. You know what? He treated us with respect. He treated us like he was, like we were one of his. Right? That's how people should conduct things. Right? It's the kindness of their heart, because children didn't ask to go. I heard my bro say, "Hey, it's like you dropping off kids. Say, hey, take my kids out to eat too, nigga." Like, nah, yeah, I am actually, because they're with my children. So we're all, that's my children too, the village, right? I remember real quick, I'm about to go, I won't be long winded. I remember me growing up, and I grew up in the 80s, 90s, right? And there was no individuality. And the bougie uptown. Of course, they had their, oh, my kids is going to Georgetown Prep. My kids are going here. I know the dean, X, Y, and Z. Well, in our neighborhood, one kid belonged to all the parents, right? No matter if they were blood related or not. That was their responsibility. Hey, your kid down the street playing with paint and broken bottles. Nah, get your ass out the alley. It was no, you not my mother shit. Everybody took care of everybody. And I'm trying to instill that in my community now, right? And it happened this weekend. My trampoline blew out my yard. We had a bad storm. Somebody wrote on a Facebook post in my neighborhood, hey, trampoline in the street. Instead of knocking on my door and stating, hey, your daughter's trampoline is in the street. Let me help you move it. Right. So I dragged that big ass trampoline across the concrete, loud as hell, disturbing everybody's Sunday. But it's as simple as that. Let's take care of each other, please. These children ain't asked to be here. I don't give a fuck who they come from. Once they under your umbrella, you take care of them babies, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that that is important, right? But I think that in these situations that were talked about, I don't agree with the grandma situation. I think that that's petty. But for, like I said, just me and my own thinking in my own situation, I don't know. Like I said, my kids get gifts all the time from their individual mothers. I don't see that. Like, we never just had that relationship where, like, buy everybody a gift. I don't think my daughter's mom, she has a son. I don't think I've ever bought him a gift, right? Or did, like, if we go somewhere, we'll go somewhere, but it's never like an obligation on our part. And to me, it seems entitled and kind of, different from how I would think, and
Hey,
where,
hey,
yes, you have to
Rashad.
do these things.
Hey, Rashad, you're a brilliant young man, and I appreciate everything that you do. As far as I know, right? You're a good person. Let me tell you something. When you go over there on Christmas and you bring in gifts, and her son over there, you bring him a gift too, bro. It ain't gotta be the biggest gift. It ain't gotta be a PS5. We walking in that bitch with a MacBook. Nah, bring him a little something, something. You know why? Because he kids are watching, dude. And I never, ever, ever forget when my child told me, my child, and I spoiled the shit up. If you know me, I spoil my kids. Because I'm supposed to, and I got the money to do so, right? My child felt like she wasn't being involved in something, and I felt bad, and it had nothing to do with me, right? And I never want my child to feel that way. Ever, bro. That was the most, I almost cried because she felt alone, right? No kid should feel alone, especially under of a man's watch. Next time you go over that motherfucker and it's your daughters or your son, man, bring them a little something. Hey, here go a little Hot Wheel or something like that. I heard you like Lamborghinis. Here go a little Hot Wheel. Man,
You know what the
$3.
problem is with what you're saying? As expressive as you are and as morally righteous as they come off, everything is my feelings, their feelings. Y'all got to get comfortable with your kids being uncomfortable. And because they're your children, the problem is, right? You're one of them anomaly men. You're not, you didn't grow up like me. And I'm pretty sure Isha had the same type of, association that I'm finna describe. All my cousins had babies. All of them bitches. Every single last one of them bitches had babies. And you know what they was doing sitting around with them motherfucking babies? Needing help. Sitting around, you miserable in the house because you too old. You can't go nowhere. You got to help rock these motherfucking bastard babies that they done sat here and fucking made. And they want to tell you, oh, it's your turn. It's your turn. And they know they need help. They talking about it. They can't even get off. They can't get off with good. Can't get off government assistance good. I know Isha know what the fuck I'm talking about. It be the women that have to come back and double behind, and they want to put labels on you. Oh, you the rich auntie. Oh, you the one, and call this one, and they got you, and it's like y'all don't deal with that to that level. So that shit sound cool until you sitting there realizing people's lives can be the fuck up. Not the
Hey,
circumstance itself, but people's lives can be the fuck up. Out of
I'm,
your
Listen,
baby to be comfortable because you want your child to feel a ways. Because when a woman getting ready to leave you in that relationship and break up the family, y'all ain't preaching that level of comfort then. Y'all ain't never preaching, oh, she should be happy and let her feel how she want to feel. You got to start from somewhere. And I'm starting with my wallet. If I want to bring this one child something and let them feel individual, I can do that.
listen,
And,
P.
and,
Listen,
and
P.
there's,
I'm
can I
definitely.
respond real quick? And there is levels. That's why I told Brother Rashad, you can bring a little small, little something, something, right? And you're right. Because I have a sister, not to put her business out there. I take care of my sister kids. All right? I take care of my sister kids. They father ain't shit. I take care of them kids. She got two boys, one girl. You dig what I'm saying? I take care of them kids. Pay my sister rent. She fucked up. My nephew and nieces ain't gonna be fucked up. I make enough money to pay for everybody in this motherfucker. You dig what I'm saying? So therefore, I'm not selfish because I know that shit gonna return back to me tenfold. You dig? So I understand
That
what you're
will make
saying.
you selfish. That would
I
actually
understand.
make you selfish. You're
That
doing it
won't make
because
me
it's going to
selfish.
return. Yes, it do.
No, no,
If
no, no, no,
you're
no.
doing it because
It,
it's going to return back to you,
it's
then that's what that is.
it's
But you know
always
why
gonna
I help? No, no,
return
no,
back to
no.
me. You know
No,
why?
you know
Because
why
it's
I
a
help
good
my brother
deed.
with his baby? Is because it's the principle. That's an extension of me. That's my brother. That's my baby. It stopped there.
That's what I'm saying. So you're on the same page then. I'm talking about my sister
Nah,
and
the
her
reasoning
children.
is different. It's just that you're trying to dress it
The
up in
reasoning
words.
is
The
I am
reasoning
passing this
is
shit on.
you want right. I don't need to do that. It's
with
the
hope,
principle for me.
with
It's the
hope,
fact that
Hold on,
they
wait.
will
Let him
it's
finish
the
also,
real quick,
fact that
Paris.
this
let me finish
baby
first.
ain't
Let
there with their parent no more, so I'm down to parent. That's what that
No,
is.
no, 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 no. What I'm saying is this, with hope that they will know that their uncle is kind-hearted and selfless. There's a lesson in this. That's what I'm talking about, return. And they
You're
will do
still
the
being
same,
selfish
maybe not in
that
the
you
same
need validation
situation.
from them kids. You're
Maybe
being
not in the
selfish
same
that you need
situation.
validation.
I
You're
don't.
being selfish. That's what you're
I
describing. You
don't.
can dress it up as
I
much as you want.
don't.
Oh, we not gonna see eye to eye on
Oh,
this because I keep telling you. You know you are an anomaly of a man. I love the way you speak. I love the way you project yourself. I watched you grow with your daughters X, Y, and Z, right? But you speak in such a way where it's like it's applicable across the board because this is the shit you do. But what you're describing is still selfishness. If you're doing something for a upright, virtuous return, it's still selfish. You know why I do it? Because it's priority. I added that little nigga to my priority fucking list. That's what that is. That's my little nigga. That baby right there, that's my little nigga. When his mama can't, his auntie can. We don't talk about it. We don't make no gestures who did what. We don't say nothing about it. I told my brother, stop telling your son I buy you shit. I buy him shit. He don't need to know where it came from. Principle. He's supposed to have it. Let it go.
go ahead, Memphis.
Now, Paris, how you know I'm a rich auntie?
Girl, we grew up in the same area. I know what the fuck going on. Them bitches breeding babies in the Delta. I know what they doing.
Listen, so I don't know how many of y'all know, but I had my best friend. She passed away last year, and we got daughters that is the same age. I mean kids that is the same age. Her daughter is the same age as my son. We had our kids like 2 months apart when we was in college. I took that little heifer. I showed up to one of her competitions. She had band, and they had a competition down here in the city. I went. And I said, Titi baby, you hungry, you thirsty, you need something. And she had one of her little homegirls with her. I said, y'all hungry, y'all thirsty, y'all need something. Girl, we walked to the concession stand. She hollered some, this my rich auntie. Girl, don't be telling these people my business. So I get it. But I grew up, Pete, in a household where my uncle's father paid our bills. He did what he did out in them streets, but he paid our bills. And when he brought my uncle something, he brought us something too. So it's just something I seen done that I decided to carry, you know what I'm saying, for
I don't want to get
myself.
it fucked up. I grew up in that household. I was the only person in our area because I wasn't the only person with two parents, but I was the only cousin in our area with my mama and her six damn sisters who had the two parent household. We was the extra room. We was the one where motherfuckers came and stayed on both sides. We was the one when kids needed to eat. They came to us. My daddy became a coach. Then all the kids in the neighborhood got the ride on his truck. I was that household. So what y'all are doing, y'all are preaching to the choir. Now I'm telling
Yup.
you, not only did I grow up in that household that made sure everybody got taken care of at the expense of his current children, but I also was the kid who had to share my birthday with my cousin. I also was that kid who had to, share my clothes with my cousin. I was that kid. Y'all are not telling me nothing different. What I'm saying to you is, as the adult who money that come from, you niggas is entitled. And you're raising entitled bastard children that feel like just because one person wants something, this other person has to get another. It don't go that way. Some kids grow up in fucked up circumstances. And regardless of when you bought them something that one time, when you leave, they still got to deal with that circumstance. You're not helping them by buying them something at one time to make them feel good. You're not.
I grew up in everybody in my family is in the military, and my mom and my dad was deployed, so I stayed with my grandma, and my cousin's mom and dad was deployed too. So it was like four of us in that motherfucker, right? And we all had our own parents who sent different shit to us, right? And it was communicated by grandma, and we all had an understanding of this didn't mean that you were less than. This didn't mean that you not loved. This means that this is their parents and this is your parents. Like, that was all that it was. And I'm talking about my uncles and shit, right? And my cousins. I'm with my cousins. So I don't necessarily understand it outside if it's clearly communicated, right? And then love is still reinforced in that house. outside of this time and where Lil Mike might have got a toy or some shoes and you didn't, if there's continual love and communication and openness and honesty in that household, it doesn't affect it, in my opinion, like you would think if there isn't that, right? Because
You
that
know what
gives like
does